Well, let's get into our fun topic here for the day. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the classic thing that a lot of podcasts and videos are doing on YouTube, and that is breaking out the old tier maker and ranking things because we love arbitrary and reductive ranking in our society. So what we
internet-friendly lists are all the rage.
Exactly.
I mean, I like the fact that you shoveled so much disdain at this thing that we're about to engage in. It's like, this.
I'm loving it. I'm just trying to avoid the haters. So what we thought we'd do is we would take all of the Bond themes, because we are a music podcast, and Anthony found this wonderful list with a bunch of unreleased or unused Bond themes. And we've put a few of those into here as well. I believe I've got, 7 extra ones that we can add to the list here. And we are going to talk about them. We are going to rank the Bond themes on the classic sort of scale of S being the top and F being absolute garbage. And we'll figure out where they fit along those letters based on our 3 opinions. So without further ado, I figured we just might as well go chronologically and kick off with Dr. No. So what we have for Dr. No is the John Barry James Bond theme, plus a little bit of something that's called Kingston Calypso, but I think we're primarily looking at the classic Bond theme. So I will kick us off and say where I put that. I actually put that pretty low on the list just because of the weirdness of that Kingston Calypso, and I have it at the very bottom of C.
Oh, wow.
Anthony.
I gave it a B just because it's the classic Bond theme. Like that dun 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 dun. I do it so well.
It's true.
But yeah, I gave it a B.
Okay. Jason.
I mean, yeah, so I don't necessarily get caught up in it's the first or it's the I mean it's not all that memorable on its own accord. I guess I'm gonna give it a C just because I
So we'll sit majority rules here, 2 C's and a B. It is going to sit in the C. And like I said, when we were kind of discussing this, if we also want to rank within the tier or within the letter, we can do that as well. So the further it is to the left, the worse it is. Further to the right, the better it is. So we will figure that out if we get into situations where things are on multiple kind of letters, which they eventually will be. Let's chat about From Russia with Love. So again, we've got another just classic Bond theme. It's called James Bond is Back, From Russia with Love. Where do we place that?
I gave it a D.
Okay.
I agree.
Oh, this was not good. I did not like this. It was just generic and forgettable.
I originally had it C. It was lower than Dr. No, but I'm completely good with a D. I think that's what we're seeing here with these early ones.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely started to push the envelope a little later on, and it kind of shows in the quality of the themes coming later.
I think even the next one, it shows a real jump in quality because we've got Goldfinger with a classic Shirley Bassey tune. Goldfinger.
Yeah.
Where is that sitting?
Well, if you're starting out with me, I'm gonna put this in the S tier. I think not only Shirley Bassey has been visited for a few of these, and I mean her voice is pretty well amazing, but I think even beyond what it lends to the actual film itself, the fact that it's relevant even now with folks sample the fact that it's sampleable in a relevant way, I think it just goes to show how strong of a theme that was. And the fact that, you've got Goldmember playing off of this particular,
yes,
this film specifically, it's classic to me.
For sure.
I gave it an A. Yeah, and it was the farthest A, so that's the highest A, I guess.
I also gave it an A because I think there's one Shirley Bassey that's just a little bit better. And I think Jason just talking about the sampling component, I think we can all figure out what it is, but I was leaning towards the highest A as well.
Okay.
I'm fine if we do it as an S.
We can. I'd be good with putting it up in the S column. I mean,
Yeah.
it is to be the first and to be the classic. I'd be fine putting it up in S.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you guys both gave it A's. I mean, maybe we can revisit that at the end, but I
Good
mean,
call.
just to
Sure.
be consistent,
call.
You're so
let's leave it
humble
at
with
A.
your Shirley Bassey love.
No, I mean, hey,
Also, that means I want to see what other S's you gave.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
All right. Now, after that one comes Thunderball, a classic from Tom Jones.
F.
Oh,
I gave it an
Oh,
F.
that's so hard.
That's cold.
Meh.
Okay, so we've got an F from Anthony. I gave it a C, but it was the highest C I could give.
I actually was going to give this a B.
Oh, wow.
I think it's because of the absurdity of, like, I mean, on the one hand, you've got Tom Jones, fantastic singer of a particular style.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got this weird play on words with, like, Thunderball. Like, I don't know. It just, there's a certain amount of humor in it where, like, I can't necessarily promote it as like a fantastic Bond theme, but at the same time, I can't totally shit on it either. Like, it's I don't know.
Okay. But Anthony, why F?
I just, I don't know. Like, I'm not a huge Tom Jones fan to begin with. And
that's not unusual.
Yeah. All right. That was good. I also, this is going to be controversial to Jason. I prefer the Johnny Cash version.
Ooh, we are going to get to that Johnny Cash version a little bit later, but
oh yeah,
wow.
That's controversial on a couple of different levels, but I will just respectfully disagree on that one.
So we've got an F, we've got a C, and we've got a B. Where do we think that would then lend us? Would it be the top of the C's? Would we lean more towards D because F is such a low rank? Like, where do we want to fall with it?
No, I think C would be reasonable.
Yeah, I think probably the bottom of the C's. I mean, if we're like doing this somewhat mathematically.
Fair. Yeah, that F is a pretty low mark against it. So let's put it under Dr. No then. Look at poor Tom Jones there with this.
That is a ridiculous photo.
It is such a good cover. All right, we are now in You Only Live Twice. You Only Live Twice is another great theme with Nancy Sinatra doing the cover titled You Only Live Twice. Myself, I had that as, I just need to zoom in a little bit more. Where was You Only? I had that at the top of the B's for me. I liked it. It felt very Bondy, but not being like too ridiculous like Thunderball was. So I really kind of enjoyed Nancy Sinatra coming in and doing You Only Live Twice.
I gave it a C,
okay,
but that's just because I'm obsessed with Nancy Sinatra and Lee Hazelwood song Summer Wine.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me has one of the best like Bond references in the song, because like 2/3 of the way through the song they like have this chord shift and all of a sudden it's like dun dun dun. So I didn't think that You Only Live Twice was as good as that Summer Wine Bond reference, so that's why I gave it a C, but it's still it's a really good song.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Jason?
I'm gonna give this one a C too.
Okay.
I think like it's not I've read some stuff like, with some people considering it much better than I do, but I don't see it as like one of the clear standouts either. Like I think it's fine.
It's good.
Yeah. Palatable.
Yeah.
It's a passing grade. It's a C.
So if we've got it in C, is it better than Thunderball? Is it better than Dr. No? Is it?
I'd say it's better than both of them.
Better than both, Anthony?
Yeah.
I'd be down with that. All right. You Only Live Twice is top in the C category. Way to be mediocre, Nancy Sinatra. All right. We go back to On Her Majesty's Secret Service. And this one, we're going to look specifically at the John Barry Orchestra theme. We're not going to bring in Louis Armstrong's We Have All the Time in the World, which was considered a secondary theme. we can talk about that if we want, but let's just take a look at just On Her Majesty's Secret Service. And I have that low. I have it at the bottom of the D's. It's nothing to me. It is just lots of brass, really low, and I don't find it interesting at all.
This will definitely be an F for me.
Okay.
Him as a Bond, I think, is damn near universally panned anyway, and I don't see any reason why this theme should be any different.
I gave it a C, and the only reason I gave it a C is because there was a Simpsons reference where Marge said her favorite James Bond was George Lazenby, and that's the only reason. Once I figured out this was the George Lazenby James Bond, it's the only reason I gave it a C. I was like, because that Simpsons reference was amazing, and I've heard George Lazenby was awful. So
generous.
I'm fine to put it in F.
I would be completely good throwing it. It is our first F into this. It is just a bad Bond.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of the only Bond films that I will just routinely ignore. Like there are moments where, like, especially around the holidays, where they become very easy to find on like Hulu and whatnot, and like I'll just sit there and watch them just for nostalgia's sakes, but never that film just
never so fast getting off the couch. You'd be like, nope, I'm gone. That's
yeah.
That's
Denied.
hilarious.
Well, I think we're gonna jump from universally panned to universally loved. We've got Diamonds Are Forever, and we've got a return of Shirley Bassey here. Jason, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, I mean, it's S.
Anthony?
I gave it a C.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
I mean, it's not as good as Goldfinger to me.
Wow.
I like Goldfinger better.
Wow, no, I definitely have to disagree with you on that one, man.
Jeez. I'm here to cause controversy on this episode.
So good. So good.
Tossing bombs. Wow.
It's two S's in the room.
I can't wait for you guys to see what my S's are.
Oh, mercy. I have a feeling.
Well, you know what? I may not be as surprised by some of your S's as but then again, you're holding up that Johnny Cash version like that, like on the cutting room floor thing, and I'm like, oh hell no, man. That was some of those that from that list I think deserve to be there. There are only a couple that I was like, oh man, dang, that's a shame. But that was not one of those songs.
I have the most songs ended up in the F category for me. But Shirley Bassey, I would say, is the best Bond singer across the board. Like, I will give her that I would, rank them lower, obviously, but I still think that they were amazing songs, especially Goldfinger for me. But that's why Diamonds Are Forever was a little bit lower for me, because I was like, okay.
A little bit lower. It's 2 whole grades lower than where Goldfinger is, and I think it's better than Goldfinger, so I'm shocked. So numerically then, I guess I think for an S, we have to look at what being pretty universal, or at least pretty closer to. So is it going to sit in the A's? And is it, Jason, do you think it's better than Goldfinger, or?
Yeah, it's better. It's better than Goldfinger.
I would say if you guys both gave it S's, then put it in S.
I don't know. I don't think we can do that with you being so far away on being a C. I don't think we could justify putting it in S. I think it has to go top of the A's.
All right,
I'm with that. Yeah, I think probably the top of the A's. But man, geez,
This is
Anthony, you surprised me with that one.
This is a good one. All right, after Diamonds Are Forever, we jump up to Live and Let Die, Paul McCartney and Wings with the song of the same name. Anthony, let's start with you. Let's just get this bomb out of the way just in case. But where does Live and Let Die sit for you?
So I gave it a B.
Okay.
And that's because I did not know this was a James Bond theme song.
Really?
I did not know it was for the longest time, and I just thought it was a Wings song. And then I realized I made the connection that I was like, oh, that's a James Bond theme song. So I gave it a B. I really like this song. It's very good. It's very catchy.
Jason, where do you have it?
Actually, at the same place. I mean, not exactly for the same reason, but I also thought this was a B theme.
I technically had it low in the C's, but I could be fine putting it as our first B here on the list. I just re-listening to everything, I used to really like Live and Let Die. I think I'm more attuned to the Guns N' Roses cover of Live and Let Die. I enjoy that more than the Wings version, but I can see it being solid in B there. B country. Well, shortly after that, we go to Lulu's The Man with the Golden Gun. Now, for me, I have it square in the D's. It's high in the D's, but it is pretty low for me.
I'm agreeing. Actually, it's a good film with a bad. I mean, well, not a particularly great theme. I think that's what the problem was. But yeah, this film was solid. Like I really like everything about that film. But yeah, except for the theme.
This is Christopher Lee's appearance as the Man with the Golden Gun, I believe. So classic there. Probably movie number 300 that he did at that point. But yes, I would say D. Anthony, where's Lulu sitting for you?
I also gave it a D. The only reason I got a D is because it was like, this is super campy.
Yeah, very much so.
In a very like not good way. Like in a good way, but a not good way.
Speaking of not good ways, let's talk The Spy Who Loved Me and Carly Simon's Nobody Does It Better. For me, it is low. It is real low for me. D.
Wow.
It is so not Bond for me. And that will reflect elsewhere in this list as well, but it does not fit for me in the whole oeuvre of everything that we're listening to.
Yeah, I mean, well, I disagree with that a bit. I don't think it's the best, but I don't think it's the worst either. This isn't the B for me.
Oh, B. Okay.
I also gave it a B.
Okay.
And this is also a one that, again, I didn't know was a Bond theme. I love Carly Simon's Nobody Does It Better. This song is such a jam to me. But again, it was like I didn't even know. It's like today is literally when I found out it was a Bond theme. I'm like going on YouTube and I looked up Carly Simon theme song, Bond theme song, and I pressed play and I was like, what? Oh my God, this is so good. So yeah, I like this song.
So where does it sit in the B's for you guys? So we've got Live and Let Die there currently. Is it better or worse? Because I will freely give it to the B's.
I actually kind of like Nobody Does It Better slightly more, personally.
Agree. Yeah, I would say I would rank it higher.
Yeah,
you're killing me on this one.
Yeah,
I know. What a Bond theme can be pretty fluid, and I
agree.
I think what that song, there's a certain amount of finesse in that song that I think really does suit the franchise. So I'll just leave it there.
Okay. Well, I think I'm convinced by that. You guys pose excellent arguments. So let's put it up there, top of the B's for now. And let's go ahead and jump down to Moonraker. So again, Shirley Bassey comes back with the title song Moonraker. Where does this sit for you, Jason?
I think it's a C. I mean, I love Shirley Bassey as a Bond singer, but the theme itself wasn't all that special to me.
Fair. I've got it the same. I would say it's probably above Dr. No, but under You Only Live Twice. Shirley Bassey is classic, but yeah, definitely not one of her best for me. Anthony?
Same. C. It was like, for me, Shirley Bassey is Goldfinger, so this one kind of fell flat for me.
Fair. We've lost our colleague.
Yeah, sorry. A little bit of a cat emergency that I was trying to prevent.
Of course. And Jason, we can't go on because nobody does it better.
It's true.
Okay, I'm glad I just got some more singing in.
All right. After Moonraker comes For Your Eyes Only, which is Sheena Easton coming in with an unbelievable cover for our video watchers here on our YouTube channel. What a cover of that album. Where does For Your Eyes Only sit, Anthony, with very large eyes only open? Jeez.
F.
Okay.
Oh my God,
Jason.
dude. I hit A.
Oh, wow.
Just call me Prince because I'm thinking about controversy.
Oh, wow.
I mean, well, yeah, there's that connection too, but oh wow.
Okay.
I don't know. I was like as soon as I saw it was Sheena Easton, my expectations were so excited, and I listened to it and I was like,
let down.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was maybe too let down.
Okay. Anthony's got it as
That's
F.
way harsh.
Jason, why A?
There's a certain syrupy sexiness to Sheena East treatment to this that, again, I think kind of like the Carly Simon just sort of suits a Bond film.
Okay.
I just do.
Okay. So I originally had it at B, the low of the Bs. So kind of closer to Jason than Anthony. So would we put it C or B then?
I would say
I think
B.
it has to be in the C's. I think given that harsh ass grade that Anthony gave it, it's got to go into the C category. Damn. But I really do feel that conflicted about that one. That hurts, man. Jeez.
Welcome to the last episode of Even Score. We'll put Sheena Easton at the top of the C's. We will come back to the list at the end. We'll see if there's any movement there, and maybe there's some convincing we can do. But currently, right now, For Your Eyes Only will sit top of the C's, just above Nancy Sinatra, but below Live and Let Die. Let's drift into
Maybe
Octopussy.
I have too much personal effect for Sheena Easton, because I mean, she was kind of a big thing.
Legit.
When I was a kid, that maybe had cooled off by the time you guys were kids. So
I had it a B. I was on board with her there.
Huh. Wow.
I'm just a jerk. I don't know what else to say.
Very true. Just the worst. All right. Octopussy. We go to Rita Coolidge, All Time High.
D, maybe?
That's where I have it. I have it low D.
I gave it an F.
Okay.
I really didn't like this one. Like, Sheena Easton, I was like, okay, I'm let down. This song I really didn't like. It was very off-putting. I don't know why.
That's fair. Really.
I mean,
there's so many in here. They're so musically different. That's completely fine for you to feel your feels. So, Jason, where do you want to put it then? Should we keep it low D's because of that F? Like the last of the D?
I think that's right. I mean, well, they are right next to each other. So I think sticking to the D isn't all that controversial in that situation.
It's brushing with being the worst of the worst with On Her Majesty's Secret Service there.
And brushing.
Now we get into a really interesting era. Well, I think we've already started with kind of the Sheena Easton and Rita Coolidge. Now we go into A View to a Kill, and we've got Duran Duran's version of A View to a Kill. I have it as a D. I didn't enjoy it. Just didn't fit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This wasn't my thing.
Gosh, you guys are harsh on these themes, though.
So, Jason, you had it a D as well, I'm assuming?
No, I did not have it as a D.
I
love Duran Duran. I actually really like this song. I think it fit the film really well.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't justify giving this anything less than an A.
Okay. D and an A. Anthony?
Gave it an S.
Oh.
I love Duran Duran, and I love A View to the Kill. This song is so good. I'm a huge Duran Duran fan, Jason. I've seen them live. I love A View to Kill. Even before, like outside of James Bond, 100% absolutely love this song.
Like, I love me some Duran Duran. This one just didn't sit, but it sat with you guys. So we've got an S and an A there. So what do we think? High B, low A?
You gave it an F, Don?
No, I gave it a D.
Oh, I think we kind of
put it in the A's.
A or a B, I guess. I mean,
what do we think?
Maybe top of the B's?
Top of the B's?
Yeah, I'd
put
do
it
that.
Up, Carly.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where that will sit.
Jeez, how the hell? What kind of 80s baby are you? What's wrong with you, man?
I love me some Duran Duran. I really do. I really enjoy Duran Duran. Just that one did not click with me.
Hmm.
All right, let's drift into another 80s baby classic, Aha, with The Living Daylights. Jason, where does it sit with you?
So this one's actually kind of more of a C to me.
Okay.
I like Aha a lot, but this song didn't necessarily hit for me.
Anthony?
Yeah, I gave it a D. It's okay, but I actually like the Pet Shop Boys version better. When we were listening, yeah, it was one of the ones that was on the list, and I listened to the Aha version, and I love Aha. But yeah, same thing. I was like, I kind of like the Pet Shop Boys version better.
Fair. Jason, where did you have it again? C?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it C as well. I had it, where did I originally put it? It was top. It was just behind my pick for Thunderballs being the top of the C's. It was just behind that. So if we were to put it in the C's, because it's kind of close, where would we kind of want to put it?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe behind Carly Simon.
Yeah, I'm good with
Carly. Oh, Carly's up in the B's though.
Oh, sorry. Who is
Nancy
this
Sinatra?
chick? Nancy Sinatra.
Okay,
sorry.
behind You Only Live Twice. We
Yeah,
can slap it right in the middle there. So still kind of mid-range C.
Distribution is looking, and I'm going to geek out, very, very normal. I'm just, the stats guy in me.
Well, let's talk about this next one here. So it's License to Kill by Gladys Knight. For me, that one sits at an A.
S.
It was an A for me, but it's the top of the A.
Top of the A.
This is another one that I didn't know was a James Bond theme. I was like, this is a fucking amazing Gladys Knight song. I love this song so much. Had no idea it was a James Bond theme song.
It's very good. I mean,
oh, so beautiful. It's so good.
I mean, for me,
I'm sorry.
It's great. It's so good. It's just hard because my list originally had Diamonds Are Forever up in the S, so I would be fine to just plunk it there in the A. Where do we think it, like, is it better than Goldfinger? Not as good as Diamonds Are Forever? I would kind of lean towards putting it in between the two.
I think that's fair.
What's your thought? Like, which comes
I'm good with that.
You're good with plunking it here?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I mean, but it's a really, really good. I mean, because, and I put it in S, but you guys didn't, so I'm okay with that placement. But damn, I think that's a fantastic song.
It really is.
And I've spoken about that on this podcast before, but I really do think it's a great song.
Yep. All right. Let's jump to now more modern Bond. So we've got a 6-year gap between License to Kill and Tina Turner's Goldeneye. Anthony, where does Goldeneye sit for you?
S.
This
is, I guess, my first James Bond theme song I ever heard. I remember listening to. I definitely obviously heard other ones, but for me, Goldeneye is such a wonderful callback to Shirley Bassey. But just that distinctive, like, golden eyes change direction, and it's Tina Turner. I love Tina Turner, so I gave it an S.
Okay, Jason, where do you got it?
I love Tina Turner. I gave this one a B though. Yeah,
and I gave it an A. It's the bottom of the A's for me, so I would be comfortable putting it bottom of the A because of the average. What do we think?
I think that's right.
Anthony?
Yep, I think that's fair.
You're good? Okay. We found a level of calm here after some choppy waters here.
We still haven't gotten a consensus S.
We have not.
No.
That's going to be interesting. We're going to have a conversation about if nothing gets there or if we need to bump something up. But I don't think we're going to get there with this next one. This is Tomorrow Never Dies by Sheryl Crow, which I will absolutely throw into the, where did I have it? I believe it was low C's. Yes, I had low C's. Anthony, you're giving me a face.
It's an F for me. I love Sheryl Crow, but good Lord, this song is so fucking boring.
Jason?
I wasn't willing to hand out an F. I mean, because I guess I like Sheryl Crow a little too much for that, but it's really, I do echo his sentiment with it being a very, very, very forgettable Bond theme. And it almost to the point of it not being like it, maybe this shouldn't have been done. But it's not F territory, so it's a low D for me.
Well, what do we have? So this is the year that we have two different alternative themes to rank here. So we've got the Katie Lang and the Pulp versions also and I think those ones are far superior. So, I mean, I'd be good with putting it lower.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's fine with me.
Would it go with the F? Jason, do you think it would drift that far down?
I don't think, not quite that far, but it's really, really not great.
Let's put it behind Sheena or Rhea Coolidge then.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's put her right back at there.
Oh, poor Sheryl Crow. She tried hard.
She did try though. She really did. Not the theme.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
Let's go to The World Is Not Enough by Garbage.
S. This is my favorite Bond theme. It's my favorite Bond theme of all time. I love it. Love it. Top S for me.
Okay. Anthony, do you like it?
Oh God, I love it so much.
Okay, so that is where Anthony's sitting.
This is where I'm so interested to see what you guys think of this song.
I'll go before Jason. I've got it as an A. I think it's pretty high up there. It was the lowest A. Of course, A is getting cluttered. I had Diamonds Are Forever higher. So A is pretty cluttered here, but I would gladly talk about it being anywhere in that region. But Jason, where do you have it?
That was a little harsher on this. I mean, not extremely harsh, but it was a B for me.
Fair.
Interesting.
So again, the average kind of does the same thing that we did with GoldenEye. Is The World Is Not Enough better than GoldenEye? Anthony, your vote's kind of already locked in. Jason, what do you think?
I don't think it is.
No. Think it's still down there?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, sorry, Anthony, but then again, you kind of fucked over one of my picks.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, I totally am cool with that because I ruined your Diamonds Are Forever.
I'm gonna have to do so much bleeping in this episode.
I mean, but we're adults.
I'm gonna say my opinion. Between the two, it's a little bit better than Tina Turner's GoldenEye. So let's keep it right there. It doesn't touch Goldfinger, in my opinion. So I think it's fine where it is. We'll split the difference 2-1.
All right.
I think this one's going to be an interesting one. This is Die Another Day by Madonna. I am going to go first because I flat out have it as an F. I have it as an absolute F. I think it's absolute garbage.
Interesting.
Now, I just do not like it. I don't think it is like I enjoy Madonna's music. I really do. I do not like this song. I've listened to it many times over and I tried to give it the best that I could. I did not like it.
This is where I reach for that little like bowler hat, and then like I changed my background to a green screen so you could like Photoshop like flames in, and I'll just be like, it's fine. Because you just really sort of blew shit up. This is the only song of the Bond themes that I actually have on my hard drive that I will listen to and jam out on a fairly constant basis. This is definitely S tier for me.
It's S for me too.
You gotta be kidding me.
Nah, I'm not kidding.
I am so surprised, Jason.
Yeah, no, sorry. I love Madonna. I like this theme. I think
it good.
I think it suited the film really well. I mean, like, okay, just out of curiosity, I'm not saying that like this wouldn't have been relevant or even, I mean, you like what you like musically, but have we all watched Die Another Day? Like,
yeah,
I haven't. I've only seen the I think there's like a skiing clip. Oh wait, no, Die Another Day is
that's Halle Berry. Yes,
yeah, Die Another Day is the one with Halle Berry, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But other than that, I don't know anything about it. I know Madonna is in it.
Wow. Wow, Don. Jesus. I no, it's classic Madonna, and I think it suited the film really well. I'm surprised you graded it so harshly, but it's
Not
fine.
me this time.
It's fine.
You
I'll
got
take
in
the
trouble,
brunt of this
Don.
one. It just I would disagree that it's classic Madonna. I think classic Madonna is very much 80s, early 90s. I think this is modern Madonna, and it sounds very similar to what she's doing. Like I love the hung up era, Ray of Light, Madonna era. This song just it did not click. And I'm listening to it. Maybe it's just the context. I'm listening to it with all of these other bonds. Like I listened to all the songs chronologically and just sat and ranked. And I think just based on everything that I've heard and everything that I know is coming up, I can't fit it. I can't put it anywhere near the heights that you two have put it in my own ranking. Now we have two S's and an F. It's got to go somewhere high because of that ranking. So where does it sit then within the list as it is?
I
That's the
guess it
question.
has to pull it down to the B's or somewhere in that
I was
territory.
going to say B's too.
But I think it's like the top of the B's, to be honest.
I would agree. I would put it before over Duran Duran.
I mean, if you guys want to throw it into the A's, I mean, that's completely fine as well.
No, I mean, your F brings this shit down way too much.
I agree. If we're gonna follow an algorithm, it's got to be consistent, and
it's very scientific. This list.
Well, I'm just geez, man.
I know.
That's like
so. That is a bit harsh, but again, this is one that I knew was controversial. I remember when this song came out, and a lot of people were really hating against it,
right?
And from day one I was like whoa, and I hadn't even entered my Madonna phase at this point. When this song came out, I was still like in the Madonna closet. Well, I was literally trying to come out of the closet, so I hadn't discovered her yet. But yeah, this song was a jam. I love this song.
See,
so
I think
good.
The thing that maybe to sort of counter your point, Don, you can't necessarily listen to Bond themes in the context of each other. Like you also have to consider the theme in the context of the time. I think with this particular film and sort of like, we're in modern era Bond. I mean, well, it really did fit. I don't think every song has to basically follow the exact same template of like,
no, of course not.
I don't know. I think it was a very cool song, and it fit the time as well.
Fair, and that's completely fine. I mean, realistically, it's where it is, and we all have our own opinions on it. I think just for me, it was one of those lesser ones, and I think I completely accept that Bond themes can't be just one after another, and you just compare it based on that. That's the only criteria. There are different criteria, and for me, it's just not that good of a song for me. But it is what it is, and we will move on. So this is now leaving Brosnan, and we are going into modern Bond, or well, most modern Bond. So we're going into Daniel Craig and
current Bond. Let's just
current
Bond.
Bond. That's a good way to put it.
And we've got You Know My Name, Chris Cornell, so lead singer of Soundgarden, doing his own solo thing with Casino Royale. So, Jason, now that we're starting off with current Bond, where does this sit?
I'm gonna give it a D, man.
D.
Sorry.
Anthony?
I gave it an F.
Ooh.
Like, come on. No, this was, again, chronologically for me, we're coming off of Madonna. So I'm like hyped up for a James Bond theme song. Fast forward 4 years, and I was just not, I didn't understand the appeal of Chris Cornell's version. I think I was just like, nah, I gave it an F.
Fair. I had it as a C. I think it was kind of middling C's for me. I love Chris Cornell's voice. I think he's a great vocalist when he was alive. I love Soundgarden, but yeah, it's not the greatest of Bond films or Bond themes. And this is kind of jumping back into Bond after a 4-year period and trying to see what current Bond is going to offer. So it's a low C for me. So CDF puts it into the D's.
Yeah.
Where in the D's? Is it better than Sheryl Crow?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but that isn't saying a whole lot, man. So
No.
yeah.
Well, let's slap it there. How about between Rita Coolidge and Sheryl Crow?
Yeah.
Any qualms there?
Nope. I
Yeah.
think that sounds
Nope.
good.
All right. Let's jump to Quantum of Solace, Jack White and Alicia Keys, Another Way to Die. Anthony, what do you got?
F.
Jason?
So can I
Oh.
just issue a blanket thing? Because I think
Of course.
going through this, like for the Daniel Craig era, is going to be kind of redundant for me. Like all these are instantly forgettable. Like nothing stands out as special. So I'm pretty much gonna like nothing was horrid. I'm not gonna say they were horrid. So none of them gets the F. But for me, for pretty much all these ones coming forward, they're all D's. There's nothing special about any of these themes.
Okay. I gave this one an F. I think it's the worst of all of the Bond themes. And at the time, you have such power to pull from. Like you could have pulled Adele in one song early, grab Amy Winehouse or something like that from UK. I think there's so much more they could have done with this theme. I'd plunk it square in the F. So
oh wow,
2 Fs and a D. Is that
makes
enough
it an
to
F?
pull it? Is it
A high F?
high F? We'll put it right above On Her Majesty's Secret
Yeah.
Service.
George
Give it that.
Lazenby is really going to come up in last place, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Complete sense.
As it should.
The next one I am interested because Jason, you said they're all kind of forgettable. I don't think Skyfall from Adele is forgettable. I've got it as an S personally. I just think it's in current Bond era. I think it's the best one. I really like it. That's just me though. Jason, you've got it as a D.
Yeah, I Adele's awesome. There's nothing special about this song to me though. So sorry,
Anthony?
Sticking with my D.
No, fair.
No, I gave it an S. I thought it was instantly recognizable as a Bond theme song. It kind of definitely called back to the old references of Adele for me. Of older James Bond theme songs. So yeah, I gave it an S, but I think that's going to put it in the B territory again.
Yeah,
I think
I can't
so.
believe you'd freaking give that an S though, and some of these other. You know what, though? Where's your own internal validity, man? What the hell?
What is wrong with you?
I had 2 S's. I only had 2 S's on the entire list.
Wow.
It was Diamonds Are Forever and it was Skyfall. Like I think they are equivalent to being just the best Bond themes. Everything else fit somewhere else. And I only had 2 Fs. Like everything was kind of in the middle for me. Like some lower obviously than others, but I did not overload either end of the spectrum. I was really cautious with what I considered to be best or worst. But I'm good with plunking it top of the B's if we're good there with 2 S's and a D.
Yeah,
it's
fun.
All right, let's go to Sam Smith's writings on the wall for Spectre. Jason, still again D.
Still D.
Anthony, what do you got?
F.
It's bad. It's really bad.
Like I don't like Sam Smith on a good day. So
Really?
Yeah, I really don't like him. He just for whatever reason, he just rubs me the wrong way. His voice is not what I like. But this especially, like again, after coming off of Skyfall, I was like, oof, I'm really excited to see. And I was even interested what Sam Smith was going to bring, but man, he shot the bed.
It's pretty bad. I had a D. So 2 Ds and an F. Should we just put it underneath Sheryl Crow there?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
We've finally found something worse than Tomorrow Never Dies by Sheryl Crow.
And final one here of current Bond real themes is Billie Eilish's No Time to Die. So we've got Jason's locked in D. For me, I had it as a C. I thought it was a little interesting just because it's playing with the Billie Eilish thing, but it's not anything stellar. Anthony, where do you got it?
I gave it an A.
Ooh, okay.
I did not like it at first. It's really interesting, but this song has actually really grown on me over the last year because I distinctly remember it came out last year and Billie Eilish was massive. And so I was like really excited to hear that she was doing a Bond theme. And then I heard it and I was like, I guess it's okay. And then in the year since I've listened to it, I've really grown to it. I've really enjoyed it. I find it's not the best James Bond theme song, but as a Billie Eilish song, I really like it. So that's why it got higher marks for me.
Should we just throw it at the top of the C's then? Kind of real, middling, average right there.
Yeah, because you guys both gave it D, right?
I gave it a C. Jason?
I protest you putting that above Sheena Easton.
You can put it under Sheena Easton for sure.
That's fine.
I think that's valid.
The real question is, do you want to put it above Aha?
I think you can. Like I said, I don't know. The Living Daylights for me anyway wasn't that great a Bond film anyway. And I don't know. I mean, it was really just okay. Again, I like Aha a lot, but I don't know.
Okay.
Didn't care for their treatment of that song.
Well, we'll plug it in right there then. So we've done the main themes as they were produced. Now we've got, looks like 8 additional themes that we can kind of slate in here. So let's go ahead and jump into, chronologically again, Johnny Cash's Thunderball. Jason, you So it's an
I'm sorry. Wait. Oh, you were asking me a serious question. No, F. Sorry. It's an F for me. F for me, dog.
Anthony, you said that it's going to be contentious in comparison to Jason's score. What is your score?
I gave it an A. It was the bottom of my A, but I remember hearing this version like when the article came out, and I was like, wow, and I knew Tom Jones's version, so I was like, oh, I don't like Tom Jones's version. Oh, I really like Johnny Cash's version. So yeah, it got higher marks for me. But I also don't know Thunderball, and as we've discussed, sometimes the theme can be linked to the movie itself. So I'm really interested to hear about Johnny Cash's version from Jason's perspective about why is it, what was the hate on it?
Look, for all the potentially, look, James Bond as a character is complicated, right? I mean, like, there are lots of things that he did, I mean, that character was that, don't really fly in sort of current polite society, right? But one thing James Bond is not is country. He's just not. I'm sorry. There's nothing about, look, Johnny Cash, awesome artist. Not going to take anything away from him. Although, again, I think we've well established I'm not like the biggest fan of the country, country as a genre. But God damn, man. Like, no, I just no. It's peanut butter and ketchup, man. They're just two things that don't belong together.
I get that completely, and I understand that now again because I think I have such a disconnection from the movie. Like, I have no reference, I have no idea what goes on in the movie, and so you're right. Listening to it, I do think of like, oh, James Bond's in the Old West.
It's just wrong.
My rank is the lowest of D's. Like, I couldn't give it an F because I put like On Her Majesty's Secret Service down there and just couldn't put them together. But it's a low D for me. So A, D, and F. I mean, that kind of drifts at C territory. Should we pair it with like the other?
I don't know. I would put it in D territory.
Throw it up top, just because of that A. Mucking the average.
I think that's fair. Yeah,
Jason.
Well, to and to be fair, these are songs that didn't make it, right? So they have a higher bar than
that's fair.
The themes that actually did. So
I put it under Lulu. Or I put it at the bottom of D.
Or do we slap it all the way down because
that's an F and it got a D, so it's 2 lower scores more than a higher score.
Jason, what do you think? Where do you think it should go? Well, not where you think.
I was gonna say I was not clear enough about that already.
With the information that you have
now. You guys are willing to elevate it slightly more than I am. I just it's where you have it is fine for me. It's just not. It's so not Bond. It's not.
Anthony, could we convince you to lower it real low and just put it real like right into the Fs?
Yeah, sure.
Let's toss it in the Fs.
I mean, next
yeah,
thing you know,
I like-
you'll like the next theme will be Baby Shark or some shit like that. Like it just doesn't belong.
Oh,
man.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that this was an anti-baby shark zone.
It is in the context of James Bond.
Yes.
Sorry.
I'm comfortable with giving an F. Listen, like again, I think the opinion of all of us is varied. Like
Yes,
it's
of
been really
course.
interesting to see where we kind of align. But yeah, there's been a couple like misalignments. So
Oh, completely.
Johnny Cash, you deserve the F that the country gave you right now.
Okay, let's throw them there. And let's drift over to Alice Cooper's version of The Man with the Golden Gun. Anthony.
I gave it an F.
Gave it an F.
Like I just didn't really know what was going on. It sounded like a rock song,
Mhm.
and then it was supposed to be a James Bond song, and I was like, nah.
Okay. And that was up against Lulu's Man with the Golden
Yeah.
Gun.
And I think Lulu was just campy enough that I was like, oh, you get a fun little point. And then I listened to Alice Cooper's version. I was like, this doesn't do it for me.
Okay. Jason, where did you have Alice Cooper's song?
I didn't like it. I maybe could be convinced to be a little less negative on it than say the Johnny Cash. I mean, like I didn't have it in the F category, but it definitely wasn't good, and I could definitely see why it didn't make the cut. So, I guess I called it a D. But you know, I could be persuaded to mark it lower.
There's no need for persuasion here. I called it a D as well. I mean, I can't put it above the actual song that got into it, and that song for me, Lulu, was pretty low. So I mean, I'd be completely fine putting it into the Fs.
Yep.
If we want to slam it just above Johnny Cash, just even though we maybe under Johnny Cash, because Anthony did give it the A.
That's fine. I
Let's
mean,
do that. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really doesn't. I
Yeah.
mean, there was so far there was a clear reason why they didn't make it.
Correct.
Yes.
I've got these a little bit swapped here. That's my mistake. But we've got Blondie's For Your Eyes Only going up against Sheena Easton's For Your Eyes Only. Blondie clearly didn't make it. For me, the Blondie song was a low C. I think I had it just around where Thunderball was. I enjoy Blondie. I really like that sort of 80s disco-y sound that Blondie puts out there. As a Bond theme, no, not really. But again, it kind of fits the era, I suppose. But I do believe that the Sheena Easton song is way better. And I'm glad they rolled with that as opposed to the Blondie theme. So that's my deal there. Low C.
I gave it a D.
D.
I
D
love
for
Blondie.
me too.
Yeah, I love.
Oh, go ahead.
I think we're about to almost clone each other on what we're about to say about Blondie, but yeah.
Yeah. Low D, mid D, high. Does it
I'd
go
put it
around Lulu?
I'd put it over Chris Cornell
How about
just
right
because it's
right
Blondie.
in the middle?
Yeah, I mean, out of respect for Blondie, but you know, I will say that I didn't get this version of the song. Like
Fair.
I love Blondie, but like it kind of like how I panned Johnny Cash. Like it didn't
Yeah.
fit. Like,
Makes sense.
yeah.
It's
All right.
interesting.
Let's really jump out there and go up to Ace of Bases, the Juvenile, or Juvenile, however you want to pronounce it, that was going up against Tina Turner's Golden Eye.
I gave this a B
Okay.
because I was actually pleasantly surprised. And again, GoldenEye is an S for me, so it's already like I know it's not going to be better than what the original is.
Right.
But I was actually pleasantly surprised that I was like, I watched a version that was actually on top of the GoldenEye credits, so I actually got to see what the song would have looked like if it was in the credits. And I think maybe the visual kicked it up a couple notches, but I actually didn't mind this version. I thought it was a fun Ace of Base song that definitely had a James Bond filter.
Okay. I had it mid C's just because again it's the era, I understand, but it's a fine song, but it doesn't go anywhere aside from that with me. Jason?
Another D for me.
Another D.
I'll differ from you guys insofar as I'm not really the biggest Ace of Base fan. I'm just not. There wasn't anything special about it. I saw why I didn't make it.
And
Yep.
so long, Swedish fans of Even the Score podcast.
Well.
No, they've ventured into, like, some of the members have ventured into like white supremacy territory. So
Lord.
I didn't even know that. I just
Oh,
not
come
a
on.
big Ace of Base fan. Just
I mean, I like those 2 songs, but outside of that, I really haven't listened to them. So
Well, I just think alphabetically, then let's put it just there, so low as of the C, just to kind of average it out. But dang, that's a shame to hear about weird Ace of Base stuff happening these days. All right.
I mean, yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, dang, if what Anthony just said is, taking that as correct or whatever, that just feels bad.
Is
like
Lazenby bad?
Well, I mean, if they're truly white supremacists, that's not.
We can plunk them there.
Yeah,
it's no worry off, or no sweat off my brow here. Like, I'm fine plunking Ace of Base if they have turned into horrible individuals. So let's just keep them in the bottom Fs then. Congratulations, George Lazenby, you're not the worst.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump to Tomorrow Never Dies. So as I mentioned when we were talking about the Sheryl Crow version, there are 2 songs that we look at here. It is, we'll start first with Katie Lang's Surrender, which I believe actually played in the movie, but was supposed to be, or was in consideration to be the actual theme song. Jason, where do you sit with Katie Lang's Surrender?
I definitely saw this as better than what we got for the theme. I would be a little salty if I was Katie Lang, but so I'm giving this a B. It wasn't like, as Bond themes go, it wasn't like super spectacular, but it was definitely better than Sheryl Crow's version. So
yeah, I would agree with that. I originally had it as a low A, but I'd be completely fine throwing it into the Bs. Anthony, what do you say?
I gave it an A.
Okay.
I love Katie Lang. She's a thick, handsome lesbian, and her age is aging gracefully.
Very true.
Handsome lesbian. Oh, I've never heard those things strung together before, but sure.
Oh, I just love her presence. Like, I love femme men and mask women. And Katie Lang has such a masculine, feminine presence that I always refer to her as handsome. I was like, she's so damn handsome and she's so thick. Like, I don't know. I love a beautiful lesbian.
Thanks. She is great. Canadian
Katie Lang. And her voice on this track is phenomenal. Like, she really uses that deep Katie Lang. I don't know. So yes, this gave it. I'm glad to hear you guys enjoyed it too. I mean, I gave it an A, but it's definitely better than Sheryl Crow.
It's way better than Sheryl Crow. The question is, does it go into like the top of the Bs just to average it out? Is it better than Skyfall? Jason, in your opinion, is the Katie Lang Surrender better than Skyfall?
I would say yes, because again, I didn't mark Skyfall that highly to begin with,
right?
But I guess it's not better than some of the others that you all put Adele above. So that's my problem with it. It's like,
it's not the Adele.
Do you want to put it behind Madonna?
I certainly would.
Anthony, are you good with that?
Yep.
Okay, let's slap it there.
And actually maybe even behind Duran Duran too.
Agreed. I would actually agree.
Yeah,
I'll relent on that one. Just to save the podcast, I'll relent on that.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Let's talk about the other theme that came from Tomorrow Never Dies, and it's Tomorrow Never Lies by Pulp. Pulp, I have it as a high D. It was nothing to me. I enjoy Pulp music. I did not enjoy this track. That's just me.
Same. That was like a D for me.
Yeah, same. Was also a D. I don't really know much about Pulp, but the song was doing nothing.
So I suppose the only debate that we'll have here is it better than what we got with Sheryl Crow's Tomorrow Never Dies?
No.
No. Then it goes. Is it better than Sam Smith?
No.
Then it's the last of the Ds. Let's leave it there.
Yeah.
2 left. So let's jump into current Bond. So Quantum of Solace, Another Way to Die actually had an alternate song, and it was Shirley Bassey returning back to the fold here with No Good at Goodbyes. Anthony, where did you have this track?
I actually gave it a B.
Okay.
I was like, it's Shirley Bassey. She's coming back. It's not like the greatest James Bond theme song, but I like that she came back, and I like that it was a callback that I think should have been used.
Yeah.
I agree with that assessment completely.
Yep.
Actually,
what we got in that movie, like, I hated the Jack White, Alicia Keys version. I think if we could have had any throwback at any point in current Bond, that's when we do it. So yeah, I would throw her into the B's.
It was, yeah, I don't know why they went that route. And again, I remember even at that time, this leaked, like the Shirley Bassey song leaked. And I remember thinking, what have you done?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think they just like to ride the star power of certain artists for these themes. And I think that's what they were going for. Because,
for sure.
Absolutely.
That's definitely what was happening. So where would it slate into the B's for you two? Do we put it around the same Katie Lang sort of level, just because it's kind of that it wasn't used, but it's pretty good?
I'd put it under Katie Lang. I
agree with that.
Yeah, I like Katie Lang's song better, but I would definitely say it's better.
What about in comparison to Nobody Does It Better?
I actually would put it behind that too.
Live and Let Die?
No, it's probably appropriate where you have it now.
Let's throw it right there then. Final one on the list. This is kind of the big one that kicked off this discussion about Bond themes that weren't used. When I was kind of looking at the original thought of bringing this idea to the podcast, it's Man of War by Radiohead. So for Spectre, there was this huge debate about Sam Smith was going to produce a song, but Radiohead was also kind of tapped on the shoulder. They produced this song. I've seen both with kind of the same Spectre intro. Man of War, for me, I think it goes in the high C's. It's better than what I think we got, but it isn't kind of a great Bond film in my opinion. Who wants to go?
I mean, I agree with that. I like Radiohead as a group a lot. But yeah, the song wasn't special, but far more special than Sam Smith's version. So yeah, I would say it belongs in the C area, probably towards the bottom of it.
Anthony's gonna drop a bomb on us here.
I gave it an F.
Gave it an F.
It just, like, Radiohead for me is a band that I'm not super close with. I like a couple songs that are really, really well done. I respect them so much as a band. But my thing with Radiohead is every time I hear a Radiohead song, I'm like, oh, this is definitely a Radiohead song.
They have a sound.
They have a sound, and I love artists that have a sound, so I completely respect them. But I just found it really tedious and really boring, and so like I found myself fast forwarding it through the times that I listened to it, because I was just like, for the love of God, Tom York, just finish a fucking syllable in less than 2 minutes. Sorry.
Fair. No, completely fair.
All right. Well, dang.
So
Damn. Sorry, friends.
So just based on that, we think it's better than Sam Smith. Is it better?
You can leave it just better than Sam Smith.
Just better than Sam. Let's throw it right there.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So we have the list. We do not have an S. Now, that has been a contentious issue for this entire podcast, but let's talk about what's in the A's, and is there anything that we could promote up to an S, just to at least put one in there? Or do we end this podcast as enemies and blow the whole thing up and never speak again?
I mean, for me, it would either be Goldfinger or Gladys Knight.
Okay, Jason, what do you think? Oh, go ahead, Anthony. Continue.
No, I would just say that those are the ones that I think might be elevated to an S, that I think you guys would also probably agree to elevate to an S. Or, I mean, you guys are probably going to say Diamonds Are Forever.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say Diamonds Are Forever and Gladys Knight. Like, I mean, I think Goldfinger slaps right, and it fit the film wonderfully, but it's not like it's just not like it's just not the epitome of a great Bond theme to me. Like, it's very, very good, It's very, very classic. Like I think where it belongs, like where it currently is right. Like, and if it's became the top of the A's as a result, I think that's totally appropriate. But I do think Diamonds Are Forever and A View to a Kill. I mean,
License to Kill.
Oh,
Last
License
Night?
to Kill. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
So much killing. So much killing. But A License to Kill are just better compositions than
I would I don't know if you guys agree with this, but I would agree to move Gladys Knight and Shirley Bassey's Diamonds Are Forever up to SS.
I think that's what I would roll with as well. Like for sure, Shirley Bassey. I think that is, when you think about Bond films, that one, Bond themes, that one is just it for me. And I think it's it for like a greater group. And it's so ubiquitous after, like outside of the Bond genre. It's one of those ones that I knew outside of watching the actual movie. So I would be completely good promoting that up if the three of us agree, at least putting that one up. I see nods. That's fantastic. We have an S. Do we also want to move up Gladys Knight? I think it's pretty great.
I would.
I totally support that.
Yeah, for me, it would be Gladys Knight and Shirley Bassey as S's, because I think those two are probably, yeah.
Okay. So we're satisfied with the S's. Congratulations to us. We've promoted a few up there. Is there anything else on this list that you would want to move down? Is there anything that you really feel strongly is in the wrong place that you want to put a pitch out that it should be adjusted?
No, I can live with the rest of this list. I really, really can't. The extent to which you panned Die Another Day is just hurtful.
I would agree, and not just as a Madonna fan.
It will be the cross that I will bear for the rest of this podcast, I'm sure. Sorry, it just wasn't clicking for me. But if we're good with this, we will lock it in there. We will save this.
Sure.
Congratulations to us. Fun stuff.
Awesome.
And we'll wrap up.
We did a thing.
We did. Let's go. I think we'll end the podcast there then. This was fun, contentious, always interesting to chat with you two. But of course, this is all in good fun. We're having a good time with chatting about these things. And hopefully our fans are thinking the exact same thing. And in regards to our fans, we're always thankful for you listening to our episodes, downloading us, following us, and subscribing on the podcast app of choice. We're on all of them. Go ahead and find us there. Find us on our social medias at Twitter and Instagram at Even the Score Pod. Or of course, you can leave us an email at evensthescorepodcast@gmail.com. Again, we really just do encourage you to share our episodes. Give us likes, listens, reviews. We really appreciate everything. But I think we'll wrap it up there. I just want to thank Anthony and Jason for the fun conversation that we've just had. Thank you very much to you both.
Thank you guys.
Well, thank you too. Even though
you're gonna journal about that.
You know, that thank you comes with an asterisk from here on out, man. Like
I've completely ruined the podcast dynamics now. Well, for a ruined Even the Score podcast, hopefully this isn't our last episode. Thank you very much and take care.
No, we're fine.
All right, go ahead and end your records.
Miss Moneypenny.
Man.
I just didn't like it.
Well, you know what? Madonna doesn't like you, so deal with that.
I have no doubt that she doesn't like me.
I just in the song, outside of the Bond theme, it really does slap hard though. Like, I mean,
Jason, do you have any remixes of it, or do you know of any remixes that you enjoy?
No, actually, then again, I've never looked. I really just turn up the volume, like as high as my speakers can stand it when that comes on. Like,